Good morning, folks. And here we have Troy Baker I think he's very well known in voice acting circles. And he is talking about The Last of Us Part 2 and the hatred or at least the response from the leaks. And the first one I sort of let go because it's not a big deal. But he did a second one. So let's do the first one and see how that goes.
Look, if you think that game could be spoiled by a couple screenshots,
First off, the game is not spoiled by a couple of screenshots. It's spoiled by about an hour and a half of video footage of major plot points and gameplay, which clearly shows issues with the how to deal with the protagonist and how that might be a bad thing.
really? A studio with 30 plus years of development, with so many awards under their belt, they can't even put them all in one trophy closet.
Okay, so there's a pedigree behind Naughty Dog, and they've had all these awards. It's like, yeah, that's true, but you know what? Really great studios or really big studios can screw it up. BioWare is a prime example. Some might argue they've always screwed it up, and they were just lucky in the first cases of some of their titles. So it doesn't matter how popular you are, it doesn't matter how big you are, you can screw something up, especially when your project gets too big and you begin to lose focus of what makes the thing unique or special. Then there's the problem of mediocrity where you can make something and you know what you're doing and this is all cakewalk, but you're not actually making anything great. You're just doing the factory and you're turning on the factory and off goes a generic thing.
Trophy, yeah, they have more established pedigree than any other studio I can possibly think of. They've been around and producing award-winning blockbuster, crazy games
And I think yeah, that's a good thing to argue. Like they're very good at what they do. That's true, but again, you can still screw it up.
for 3 decades. This game they've ever done. You really think that that experience could be undone by a couple screenshots?
So that's pretty much all he has to say in the first video. And if he only knew what was going on from the leaks, and he obviously does, and he's not going to say the game is bad because he's happy to get the job and this is a recurring role, and he doesn't want to spoil anything for everyone, and he's contractually obligated not to. So yeah, he's going to be positive about the game. Understood. So the second one is little strange, but we're not going to go through all of it because it's kind of pointless. But he keeps going on about it.
Um, I don't know why there are people that exist whose sole purpose, seemingly, is to destroy the art of others.
Now, I don't know what he means by destroying the art of others. If he's talking about a critic like myself or other people who analyze stuff, we're breaking stuff down critically, meaning using our critical thinking skills. We're using deduction, using logic, and we're looking at the elements. So we're devoiding ourselves of our like or dislike of something, saying, what is this thing? What is actually happening? And everyone does this, whether we're aware of it or not, whether we do it professionally or not. Yeah, so people do this for a living, Troy. They're called critics and reviewers. They're disciplined all over the world based on things they're passionate about. So food or music, pick a topic. There's there. I mean, we have entire schools of thought for these topics. We have entire people who have spent their entire lives making art or making things, and now they're critics. We have a whole bunch of competitions, whether from food or music, singing, racing, all sorts of competitions. So this is normal human behavior, as far as I can tell.
I don't know what that is. I can't comprehend that. Like, I literally don't understand the mind that goes, what I'm going to do in this moment of my fleeting life.
Okay, so it's like, oh, you have so many things to do in life. Life is so short. Why are you using your brain to analyze this thing you're passionate about that you love so much? I mean, why are you reading books? Why are you watching movies? Why are you doing whatever, consuming media, when you can be making media, when you can be riding a bike? I don't know, Troy. What's your argument here?
Is this. I don't get that. I don't understand the mind that says every this could be my last breath. This could be
Okay, Troy.
my last moment on this planet,
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna die tomorrow.
and I'm going to spend it fucking with someone. Like I don't.
I wouldn't say that's a goal for the critic. If someone responds to me violently or what have you, I don't mind criticizing back and taking apart their argument. That's kind of tit for tat. I don't mind. I love being criticized. That's why I kind of have this channel. I like to get feedback and hear the feedback of what people think in a different light. So it's the same mentality for them. They really have a negative reaction to what I say, and then we go back and forth and we learn. Hopefully we learn until I just stop and say, okay, I can't learn anything from you. You're not helping me. Your arguments are this or that. So this is how we learn about, well, criticism, whether you're talking about art or food or drink or music or all sorts of stuff. This is the process. I mean, we have Siskel and Ebert for a reason. People criticize movies for a reason. We don't just have a bunch of people putting on blogs just saying, hey, this movie's amazing. And that's that. You have to give us reasons why something is good or bad.
I don't understand you. I don't understand you. Is it to get a rise? Like,
Not really, no. We're using our brains. You see, some people can feel egotistical about arguing with someone or showing proof, but ultimately the argument just ends or the questions just stop. So that's usually when the other person can't answer questions, or from the other perspective, they're thinking the other person who's asking these questions either are being pedantic or they're focusing too much on the minutia, they're nitpicking. So it depends on your tolerance for argumentation and what is the point of media or that type of media to you. But critics and reviewers have been around for a while. There always will be. And that's how we get good things. That's how restaurants improve. That's how musicians improve. That's how everyone gets better. And if that involves breaking someone apart because they thought their worldview was perfect, well, that's called life, and you need to do that.
is that what you? Good, great. What does that do for you? How does that?
I think Troy thinks life is some emotional outburst, and it's like Troy, we're using our brains. It's like putting a puzzle together. Okay, it's like looking at a piece of media as a puzzle, and the puzzle is not assembled. So I strip away what I think I see, and I focus on the edges of the puzzle pieces, and I put them together. And sometimes the puzzle is a picture, and sometimes that picture is a good picture. Sometimes the picture has nothing on it. There is no meaning to be found on the puzzle. And I go, this is garbage, this is a waste of time, blah, blah, blah. And I list all the reasons why it's bad. But that's the role of the critic, at least in my opinion. A critic is to look at the thing as a puzzle, put the puzzle together, show you the puzzle pieces and say, look, this is what I see. This is an image of this. And the artist screwed up or didn't screw up or whatever. That's pretty much it. You're using your logical thinking brain to figure stuff out. And if people don't like that, that's their problem.
How does that solve any problem in your life? How does that give you any joy?
Oh God, solving puzzles is so much fun. It is amazing. It's like when you're working in programming or working in any sort of critical thinking skill and you come to a conclusion. I wouldn't say it's an emotional need of the task. It does give you some finality to what you're doing. It makes things clearer, and hopefully it tells other people, hey, this thing is good or bad, and here's the reasons why.
I smoked for 20.
Okay, then he talks about smoking and how when he's done this, almost done the last smoke, he wants the second one. I've never smoked. I don't know what he's talking about, but he's trying to associate with this with some sort of neurological condition, so that you constantly want dopamine or some other neurotransmitter to fire, and this is the the mental reason why people do this. It is purely the job of the critic to tell people what's good and bad. And if we can look at an hour and a half of footage and we are critically thinking and we are using our brains and we understand the themes, the characters, we understand the setting, the context, we can say whether something is good or bad. And he says, no, you should appreciate, everything should be good. And it's like, well, Troy, some things are bad. And it's up to the critic to point that out. Thanks for listening, guys. Have yourself a great day.